Hi, Jonathan Ratner from CareerWise. Want to share a thought with you today about entrepreneurship. Maybe you thought about opening your own business, going out on your own, and I'm not saying you should quit your job and put all your eggs in one basket. That is high risk. Maybe you'll keep your job and open a side gig. But what I want to share today is the idea of aligning your business with your personality. And maybe it's obvious you're not going to open a business that you don't relate to, but I want to stimulate your thought about leveraging the strengths of your personality, and thinking creatively about possibilities that maybe you didn't consider. So let's take a look. So I want to use the Holland method of describing personalities. There was a Dr. John Holland at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, and the US Department of Labor uses the Holland model. So here they have it in a hexagon, 6 different personality types. And of course, a person could have more than one of these types within them. And these are not only types of personality, these are professional inclinations, and they even include the types of environment in which you feel most comfortable working. So I'm going to go through each one of the 6. The first, realistic, R. So those are doers. And a lot of times these are outdoors people, but they're realistic, they're hands-on. So maybe they work in a car garage or a bakery, or maybe they're a surgeon, so they use their hands in the hospital. But these are real life places. So those are doers, the realistic type. Second type is investigative. They're thinkers, they're intellectuals. They feel comfortable in a library or a museum, a university. So they are thinking and researching, reading and writing. Artistic creators, they may be actual artists, maybe sculptors, maybe painters, but they could also be musicians. They could be creative writers. So someone who's really creative and likes to be in a creative environment. They generally are more free flowing and not rigid. Social people, they love to help people, they like to be with people, they don't want to work on their own, they want to be part of an organization, be reaching out to others, maybe a teacher. So those are social and they're helpers. E, enterprising, so that's the most obvious to be an entrepreneur and to open a business. And these people, a lot of times they're in corporate America, these are bosses, and they're people about money and persuasion, they're leaders. So they have a gift in that way. So they have an advantage. We may take them onto our team in our startup in order to manage it, because maybe we're good at doing something particular, but we need someone to manage the business and the marketing and the money aspect. So we'll turn to someone who has an E, enterprising, Holland code. And the last code may be the least entrepreneurial, but have a great deal of value, and that's conventional. These are the organizers. These people actually like paperwork. They like order. They like things to be in their proper place and to keep track of things. And so they may be accountants and bookkeepers, and they can sell those services in an entrepreneurial way. So let me show you an example. This is my family of boys. I'm very proud of my boys. This includes my son-in-law here. And I've analyzed them here according to their Holland code. Okay, so I do have 7 sons. And so I can really cover the whole gamut of Holland codes. I have a realistic son, I have an investigative son, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. And each one of them has their strengths and the places where they feel comfortable, the things they want to do. And maybe they'll be working in that, but now they want to open a side gig to have increased income. So what are the kinds of things that they might do to open an additional source of income? So let's go through each one of the 6, the REASEC, the entrepreneurial projects. So again, we'll follow the same order, starting with realistic. So this person is hands-on. It could be a man or a woman, of course. So somebody likes baking. They're great at baking. So, maybe it's a restaurant, or they're going to sell from the house these fancy cakes for holidays or for birthdays or something like that. So maybe they like to fix cell phones. So it's something that, they advertise online or whatever, however they do it, and they're just going to have this business of fixing things. So they're not into business, they like to fix things, but people will pay you money for that because everybody has stuff around the house that needs fixing. So being a fix-it man could be a full-time job, could be a side gig. Investigative. So these are really smart people, and maybe they're white collar and they're blue-blooded, so they didn't think about how they could make an extra buck, but they need an extra buck. So what should they do? So they could tutor students, let's say for AP exams or whatever exams, Regents, or whatever tests that people are studying for. These people are studious, so they can help others studies. Maybe they're inventors. Okay, they want to come up with something new and really turn that into something big or small, but a new creative, intelligent way to solve a particular problem. Going on to the artistic type, so they could sell paintings, obviously. They could teach others to paint, right? They could have, a home after-school activity. They could give dance lessons, exercise classes, right? Aerobics, whatever it is. So this is something they love to do. They could share that with others and make a few bucks. What about the social type? Social types love to give. They're not as much into taking. So it's sometimes hard for them to monetize their strengths, but they also need money. So maybe they're going to create an organization that helps a certain type of people or people who are looking for support. They'll create a support group, and there'll be a certain amount of, $20 a month fee to be part of the meetings or something like this. And this will bring in some extra income on the side. The enterprisers, so it's obvious they could start a business in any field. They're business leaders, they're persuaders, they're into money and making money and leading others, so that's obvious. Maybe they don't have a particular angle on a product or a service, so they could sell their entrepreneurialism. They could sell their business leadership, coaching other entrepreneurs from the other 5 groups who aren't as good at thinking about making the business. Or maybe, somebody who loves to bake cakes, but everybody, buys their cakes, but then they don't pay, and they have all these accounts receivable. So you need an enterprising person who's going to come in and do your collections and manage the financial part. So that could be something for the enterprising individual. And the last one, the conventionals, they also have these skills which everybody needs. Everybody is running, their own home economics and has a bank account and expenses and income, and has to be managed. A lot of people aren't good at that. They call it financial literacy. So the conventional people have financial literacy and can help others and show them the way. So they could, in an entrepreneurial way, sell their own services as a consultant to a business or an individual, and they could maybe, again, set up a teaching situation where they're giving, a few lessons, whether it's online or in person, to friends and neighbors, to teach them how to manage their stuff. Because, I have a friend who says, I go to the grocery store, and by the time I'm walking out of the store and they want to check my receipts, I somehow already lost it, because he's a really creative person, but he can't hold on to a piece of paper for 30 seconds. And some people are very orderly and they know exactly where every piece of paper is. So if you're good at that, you can sell that and teach others how to be a little bit better in that. So my point is that everybody has an opportunity to leverage their skills and their personality strengths and put themselves in a situation, an environment where they could, make a few extra bucks, do something on the side to grow their income. So I thank you for watching and listening. If you have questions or like some personal guidance, so check out our website, careerwise.info, or drop us an email, office@careerwise.info. Thank you very much.